Hello, wonderful people. Hope you're doing really well in crazy clown world. What I'm going to speak about today is this idea that Earth is a school and we come here to learn. This is a classic New Age deception. And basically, we have to ask the question, and I say this in all my videos, who does it benefit? Who does it benefit if we have that belief system that Earth is a school, that we're here to learn through suffering certain lessons? That benefits a controlling force, because what that does, as with many of the New Age trappings and quote-unquote teachings, it is a way to get people to stand down. It's a way to get people to accept their chains, because if you believe that all the suffering in your life is because you're here to learn some kind of lesson, you're going to be way less inclined to do anything about your suffering, which often is enforced onto us by the Matrix, by things that they set out. And so that's another man down, if you look at it in that sense, because that person could have taken some action. They could have looked at life in with different lenses and thought, hang on a minute, this isn't actually right what's happening here. I'm suffering through a lot of these laws, these restrictions. We're told that, don't worry, you're here learning lessons. That abuse that happened to you, that was something that you needed to learn. And this is something else quite sick that you hear people say, that speak up for the New Age or defend the New Age, in the fact that they will even take it to the point where they have this belief that they chose to have a certain life. They've drunk so much Kool-Aid that they're now convinced that actually that that was their choice, that they chose to be abused by someone, to have that experience, in order to grow their, I don't know, their soul consciousness or something like that. Or the other one that they will come out and say is that, well, you chose to get raped because you were a rapist in another life, right? I mean, is that just me, or does that sound totally off? It's totally off, because this isn't a school. This is an enforced, and I'm sorry if it doesn't feel good, but I'm sure you guys are here for the truth and not to feel good. This isn't a learning place. This is a place that is like this by design. It is like this pain and suffering, because these entities, these negative beings behind this movie that we're seeing, that are controlling not only our presidents and leaders, quote unquote, but also working through just general everyday people, their main caviar, they feed on all energy, but their main caviar is fear, suffering, anxiety, depression, anger, all that stuff. So without this reality being designed that way, they would have no food, or they would have very little of it. So they need all these wars, they need all these psyops, they need people in scarcity all the time. Have you noticed how that is also enforced upon us? I mean, you look around you, look at nature. I mean, there's abundance everywhere, but yet we have this kind of enforced scarcity. Everything's scarce. And what does this scarcity do? It keeps people in fear, it keeps people anxious, it keeps people on edge, it keeps people in the fight or flight part of their brain. And in my experience down the years of clearing entities and stuff, these entities will often nestle themselves in the nervous system. So they're always feeling stress, they're always feeling on edge. And so it's easy food. It's like they've got it on tap, being in the nervous system there. So this Earth is set up as a place of, let's face it, suffering, because they would love us to be in a constant state of depression and anger and all of this fear, depression, and the stuff that's going on in the world. Then it's easy food for them, and it's a win for them. So we have to have it's like walking a tightrope. We have to be aware of what's going on. but we also, have to find a way to, to work around it as well. So that's the first thing that I would say. The other thing is they have their memory wiped, right? So everything that they've learned in this lifetime is gone, and this is why they call it research. It's researching for something that we've probably already had another lifetime looking for. And so how is that a fair playing field, right? How is that a school if you're having your memory wiped? Because if that was a fair playing field and it was a school and we were supposed to be here learning certain lessons, then we would be able to retain those lessons or those experiences into our current lifetime. But no, they wipe the memory so you forget everything. You forget that you've been down here for 1,000 lifetimes or for however many it's been. And yeah, so it's a huge deception, and it's one that is promoted very often in these NDEs, as well as the other one where they guilt trip people to come back down. They'll tell people that you have a mission down here on Earth, you have something that you need to do, and then what happens? They get sent back down and they're promoting all the NDE, false white light. Don't worry, it will be all right on the night. Archangel Michael's going to be there, and so they're basically promoting their agenda from the fourth dimension through these NDEs. So yeah, if Earth was a school, why do they wipe our memory? That would be the big question that I would ask. So I'm sorry, New Agers. It's another deception. It's not a school. We're not here to learn. We're, for the moment anyway, being recycled round. And if we're talking about about lessons, the biggest lesson that anyone could learn in this lifetime is how to get out of here. That would be the biggest lesson that I would encourage anyone to engage in. I would say that everyone should be at the forefront of their mind when they look at what they want to get out of this life. That when your time comes, you're leaving. I'm directly going to leave. I do think it's helpful to energy train to strengthen your energy, because I feel like the stronger that you become energetically, that will also help you. So yeah, it's not a school. If it is a school, it's a very sadistic school, and all the teachers are vampires. So yeah, I just wanted to bring that up because it's a common one. I've been meaning to do it for a long time. It's one that comes up a lot in the comments about, oh yeah, but maybe we chose this suffering, and I can't imagine any part of me wanting to choose the suffering within this matrix. So what do you guys think? Leave a comment below.